I think I always made the comment that once a miller, always a miller.
Ravel, ambitious, but brilliant! I don't believe it! I swear I do not believe it! Good Evans, he's done it again. Another promotion for the big man.
I've got 12 bottles of champagne in my office and we're going to drink them all night.
Do me a favour, drop me off in Rotherham.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to New York Talk. This is the Rotherham United podcast. Thank you all for being with us. We have a very, very good Saturday to talk about. Really good performance by Rotherham United in the early afternoon. And then we'll do a quick chat about Millmoor and Middleman 25 and how that went down and the crazy amount of money it's raised for Rotherham Hospice as well. We will cover all that in next. And we've got a game on Tuesday. We're going to talk about the Vertu Trophy getting back underway with the local derby at Chesterfield on Tuesday evening. We will cover all that. Mick, first of all, how are we?
I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. Thank you very much. You?
Very good. Yeah, very good. Tom's back. How you doing, Tom?
Yeah, really good. Apologies, I couldn't be there on Saturday, but it looked amazing, and well done to everyone who pitched in. It seemed like a really good job and a lot of money raised. Absolutely.
And Kenneth Bob says Ben's going to be positive. Ben, are you going to be positive?
Yeah, of course I am.
Brilliant. We've got loads of people with us. Dylan Kelly says hi. Hi all. He loved Millmoor. Martin Holland's with us as his YouTube user. The Millers 66. Good evening, everybody. Great performance and victory. To top it off, £95 better off as he had 3-1 at the bookies. Mostly for Kev. Kev had 3-0 at the bookies and on his prediction, which he got screwed over on, sadly for him. Steve's with us, as is Sarah Ogden. Paul Rose says, evening. Do we think Wilkes has practiced his penalty move or did he just have a rush of blood? And we'll talk about penalties. David Carroll's with us as well, as is loads of other people. Thank you all who are with us so far. Let's start with Millmoor, Mick. I think 13,000, nearly 40,000 they've raised, which could go up because I think they're going to when the single kind of comes out, they can buy it even if you weren't there on Saturday. So that's going to go up, and good to be back at the old place.
Yeah, it was rather, wasn't it? It was. It's still the old tip that it was when we left it in 2008. They've done a really good job at keeping it in the same state that it was. It's no more rundown, but yeah, it holds a lot of special memories, and I think somebody's mentioned in the comments earlier on already that the atmosphere was fantastic. It was great to hear that noise coming out of Tivoli and ringing around the ground, and yeah, fantastic. And see some old friends as well. Some of the 80-81 team were there. A lot of them were there. In fact, all of them I think were there virtually. So yeah, it was good. It was a really good afternoon. Really enjoyed it. Very special.
Yes, we Mick put out a kind of instant reaction of Millmoor, where we just kind of walked around a little bit and told a few stories. Well, not stories, but a few memories of it. So that's on YouTube if you want to spend 5 minutes after. Harry says, and you rattle Wednesday fans as well. Genius, you are, Mick.
What on earth has happened with this? I mean, if for anybody that doesn't know, when we went there, Lee got everybody singing some songs. We sang Millerman, obviously. The crowd sang Millerman, and he got everybody singing "Wings of a Sparrow," which I really love. I adore that. And coming out of the Tivoli end again, like I put on this tweet one last time, it was really special. It was really good. And I videoed it, and I put the video out on X, and the tweet went something along the lines of some sarky comment about being disappointed about the win. And then great to hear this coming out of Millmoor, possibly for the last time. #RUFC. That was it. So there was no mention of anything, that and the video. So in order to find out what that was about, you needed to find a Rotherham United badged tweet. You needed to go into the tweet. You needed to read it and open the video. You needed to put your sound on, listen to the video, decipher what was being said, And then only then would you know that it was about Sheffield Wednesday. It's just been a Sheffield Wednesday marathon. All the comments are from pigs. All the retweets have been done by pigs. And they've just gone off on it. Who on earth went that far to find out what was in that? It's been beautiful. It's been a thing of absolute beauty. They've really rattled, aren't they? Why?
I don't know.
What's all that about?
I don't know. I enjoyed it though. I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. Great day.
Top Keller says his kids were singing it too, laughing their heads off. Good. Every kid. You know, even if you don't like kids to swear, they're allowed to sing that song.
That's an exception.
Yeah. Ben, your first time visiting Millmoor. What are your thoughts?
It's an interesting stadium. It's obviously not.
That's generous calling it a stadium, to be fair, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's got about 8 different stands. On one side, it's got 3 different stands. Sort of no roof, a weird roof, and another weird roof.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's good, obviously, with all the memories and everything they're talking about it and all the history at the club. But I mean, I didn't have any. I've never been. I was a year too late, so I can't really say anything about it. But it's cool to see everything. It was cool. It was just cool to see after everyone talking about it. It was pretty cool to see.
Yeah. Bob's, it's a thing of beauty, Ben. Beauty in the eye of the beholder, as they say. To every single away fan that ever went to Millmoor, I don't think beauty is a word they use.
No.
But to every Rotherham fan that ever went there, that is the word you're going to use.
And we found out yesterday the noise that comes out of Tivoli, even with just like 1,000 people in it. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's the way that the roof is shaped or what, but the noise that comes out of there is just special. And that it made it airs on the back of my neck stand up yesterday when it was in full voice. It was fantastic, and I can only sort of, people like Ben and Tom and others who've never been there, you can only imagine what it must have been like without the seats when it was full. The noise that came out was just special, really was. Yeah. But it is, as Nick has mentioned in the comments there, he's described it very well in kind of what kind of hole it is.
Yeah. Ash's gutted couldn't go. Hope there's one last chance to go to Millmoor. I'm sure there will be. Hopefully. Right, let's bring us back to kind of present day. A really good afternoon, Tom. A really, really good performance. We'll come into the specific because there's loads to cover from our side and their side. But I was thinking about it last night. That's the first performance in quite a long time where I can say, yeah, that's a proper Rotherham United performance. I mean, we're talking 18 months, 2 years since we're saying that. I'm kind of proud of a performance to that level. It was so good.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking forward to watching it all week, and I think I was justified in that choice. It typified everything that you sort of want rather than what you expect. It was full-blooded. It was football that played at times was excellent. And yeah, I mean, since Lincoln, we've just been getting better and better. And although it's still not perfect, and perfect is very, 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 very good. It's that sort of performance against any League One side, bar maybe one, gets you points. I think we still need to be able to finish chances, and I think that'll come with confidence, and we are creating more chances now. But yeah, I mean, off the ball, it was some of the best I've seen, like you said, in 2 years almost. It felt, and on the ball again, felt like the best it's been in 18 months, 2 years. So no complaints at all about that game. Absolutely no complaints.
Harry says best performance is Warren left for him. Tom K says first time you could honestly say we could have scored 5 or 6 this season. I think the last time we had a good performance like that was Norwich last year when we beat them 2-1 at home. That was going to the international break. That was as close as we got to a kind of what I consider wrong that performance since Warren left. But Ben, interesting that it's gone 3 games in a row now unchanged, but that seems to have helped the team. It seems to have helped gel together. Even if we'll talk about Alex McDonald later on, but even somebody we all consider is a kind of almost a weak link is is more than playing his part. I thought he had a really good game yesterday.
Yeah, he did. I think he did. Well, I think a really good game is a bit strong. I think he did all right. I think he did all right. He's not a right winger.
What is it?
But he's just going to do a job, He's all right playing there if the team's going to play like that. What did you ask me?
Just three consecutive.
Oh, yeah, 3 unchanged. Yeah, I mean, we've had a heavy Christmas break, and it's a very interesting decision. Very interesting decision. I thought we were feeling it, especially in the last 10 minutes. We were saying that McDonald's looked like he had done 20 minutes in. But the rest of the team were definitely feeling it after 85 minutes. So no changes one change, sorry, was even more surprising given the fact that it's been unchanged. But listen, if he's obviously got a certain plan in mind and a certain system in mind, so that's why he's not changing it. But although it was a really good performance, there were still aspects of it that were not that good. The press was from the players. The press was really, really good, but it wasn't. I don't think it was that much strategic, rather than just. I thought it was just really good effort. There was no plan in place. Sorry, there was. It looked like there was, but it wasn't as good as it has been previously under Warney. Warney was a struggle.
It takes time though, Preston. If you just decide in January,
and it takes time, and I understand it. It should get better because that's. Although it was a really good performance, it's against a really, really bad team. So it should get better because there was aspects of it where you're watching it thinking, why can't he just do this? Why can't he just do that? So it should get better. But I mean, as compared to the rest of the season, I mean, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? It was just so much better. And where's that press been for 26 games, 25 games? Where has it been?
I can tell you where it's been.
On the bench.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to say that because if I run into Mint Street,
yeah,
I don't want that on my name.
Yeah. John Morelli says, would you consider Jota Colin signing a failure? On paper, looked good, but wondered if it was a year or two too late in his career. And I'm not going to put all.
Though. I'm sorry did it look good on paper?
Well, goal wise, it did. Goal wise,
it was the marquee signing, wasn't it?
Any of you signed him?
No.
It's what I mean. So yeah, it looks good on paper, but who actually picks him up and goes, "Yeah, I'm going to sign him because he fits into my team"? Not a lot of people.
No, I know. I'm sure I'm not going to put it all on one person, Mick. But that is a big part of it. That the mobility up front has come, and we can talk about Wilkes having issues up front because he's not a striker and he isn't. And we can talk about Nombe not finishing as well as he could do, or whatever the case may be. But that mobility has been crucial in these last 3 games, and Clark Harris don't get anywhere. And if we get another striker in, he probably don't even get a bench for me.
I think you're probably right. We did say this, didn't we, right at the beginning of the season, that he's a player that has always drifted in and out of games, and I think Evans and Rayner have tried really hard to build the team around him, but his lack of mobility. It's just they're just not been able to achieve that, and it can't be any coincidence that as soon as we have a run of games when he's not in the side, we play better. It's no coincidence, There's no him, there's no Hugo, and all of a sudden we're starting to press better. We're starting to create more. We're starting to score more. Arguably. With hindsight, or maybe even not with hindsight, it has been a failure of a signing, but that's normal. That's normal for any team, The point that John made about it being too late in his career, that's where we are as a club. Birmingham are on a different level in terms of whereabouts within a player's career they can sign him. We're at the level where we're having to pick up the scraps at the end. But yeah, his mobility is a massive issue. He's a big lad. He's just a 6 foot of pure muscle, isn't he? But as a result of that, his mobility is really poor, and he's not even got the pace. It's not as though he's got the pace to sort of make up for that. He don't have that either because of his size. So, not a great signing.
No, we do, and I'm pretty sure we called this at time, and well, we called it by saying, well, Peter were desperate to get rid of him. They were absolutely desperate to get rid of him. They wanted rid of him at 2 years ago almost. So it's not panned out. But Kelly Fobbs, the lad sold some season tickets though, didn't he? Which is true. Which is fair.
Yeah.
Paul was chiming in saying Hacks is far better captain than Johnson Clark Harris, which I think we all agree with. Tom K, if you combine the finish of Johnson Clark Harris with the mobility of Sam Nombe, you've got the ultimate League One striker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, you absolutely have. Right, let us go into the specifics of the game. Let's start with the penalty. We put a tweet out yesterday about asking if it was a penalty, because when we were in the family stand, we're near the away fans. It was quite difficult to see. All we saw was Santos get a touch on the ball, which he obviously did. It was difficult to see the strong pulling back. They built it and did have it in the replay. So we put a tweet out saying, for those at home, was it a penalty? Looked at it at first glance, got the ball. So somebody replied and said, come on, take your anti-Evans glasses off. The most blatant penalty you will see. That was a new one to me. Asking if it's a penalty, and that's anti-Evans. So I'll not name you because, I don't want to. But I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that. But Tom, in the end, I referee in the lines, but I think Noel's in the comments saying Lino probably made it. It was the yellow card and giving the penalty was absolutely the right decision.
Yeah, I mean, Lino saved ref a huge blunder because, maybe he gets the ball, but not before he's jumped on the back of Wilkes, taken both his legs out, and then got a little nick on it. Fair enough. If you can't see it, you can't see it. But I mean, it was such an obvious penalty that the fact that the ref didn't give it, it didn't fill me with confidence. So when he went off, I was quite happy. I also agree with the yellow card. I think it's really easy to say that it was a red, and I hate how ambiguous this Dogso thing is. It should just be a case of if it's last man, it should be a red. Because this whole, did he attempt to get the ball? Of course he did. Nobody's ever going to try and wipe out a player when they're last man, are they? In the box. And if they are, they're stupid. So he's obviously going to try and go for the ball. In the laws, yes, it's a yellow card, but I mean, it can't get more denying an obvious goal scoring opportunity than that, can it? So it is, for me. I mean, rules say it, and they were right, penalty and yellow card, but it can't not be a red card. And I'm not gonna email Howard Webb with my disappointment because it didn't matter in the end. Because in actuality, leaving him on the pitch probably gave us another couple chances because he was god awful. He was so poor. That, I mean, Evans and co, although probably rightfully are trying to say it is a red card, we're probably a little bit happy that it was just a yellow, because the amount of times that he got caught on the ball, the amount of hassle that we gave him was really good. And it was the sort of team that you'd love to play against with that sort of pressing ability. But yeah, I did get a little bit nervous when Wilkes was running through on goal. I didn't really back him, so to win that penalty was best case scenario, I think. And he tucked it away really well. I thought he was going to do some little dainty chip, but no, he tucked it away really nicely.
Yeah, he did, absolutely. Top Kelly says, how I saw the penalty was that he slowed his run so that he would foul him, kind of played for it.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably fair, to be honest with you. But do you want to criticise him, Mick, or we're going to be all right there?
Criticise who?
Wilkes for trying to win penalty.
I think I mentioned it on post-match tonight. I did feel as though he wasn't going to score. Before he got challenged, before he went, I just felt I wasn't confident he were going to put it away. And I don't know whether that's me sort of thinking that he's not confident or what. But yeah, he got a penalty, didn't he? So it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Ben, are you happy with the refereeing decision in the end and the non-red card? I think by the letter, though, it's right, isn't it?
By laws, regardless of what anyone thinks, the law. It's not violent. He's gone football. It's a red card. Obviously, it's a red card, and for the whole football time's been alive, it's a red card. So, but by the laws, it's a yellow.
Yeah, still no. It's one of the many laws that got changed that nobody asked for, really. But it is what it is. What it is.
It's so keepers didn't get
problem with
sent
it.
off, really, isn't it? It's so keepers didn't get sent off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's my own safe keepers, but then
I don't have a problem with it, to be honest. You know, he has made a genuine attempt at ball, albeit whilst riding on a player's bike.
but he's fouled the player before he's made the attempt.
Yeah, but you also get a penalty, and I do agree with this double jeopardy thing. You one or the other, not both.
The problem is, I mean, this is another one. If we miss the penalty, then we've gained 0 advantage from that.
Yeah. Well,
And that's the problem.
Don't miss penalty then.
You are?
Don't miss penalty then.
All right. Fair enough.
I like how it be. Come on.
Fair enough. Did you have any questions, Ben, about Wilkes taking it? Were you worried? Because he's one of those players that you never know what he's going to do for me.
No, I didn't know how we were going to take it. I didn't, genuinely, he's just so, eccentric in the word, but I didn't know what he was going to do with it. And I was a little bit hesitant when he stepped up, but I mean, he won it, so who's going to take it off him, you know?
Completely agree.
Yeah. On Wilkes, Mick, he missed a few chances. Steve Wilkes missed a few chances one-on-one with the keeper last few games, which is surprising. He hit the side netting more times than he hit target yesterday. Yeah. But at the same time, what he's telling me is he's happy and he's comfortable and he's confident. He's letting those shots rip. And I think probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, he wasn't doing that as much. Yeah. So he obviously feels comfortable in what he's playing. And if you've got a happy, comfortable Wilkes, he's going to lose the ball loads, but he's going to score goals. He's going to create chances. The third goal comes from Wilkes as well. It's going to create chances all over the shop, and that's the Wilkes you want in League One.
Of course it is, yeah, because it boosts his confidence and he starts to, he starts to create for others as he did yesterday. So you want him on the ball in dangerous areas because you know he's going to pull the trigger. It's the one-on-one situation that I have the issue with. You get him on the edge of the box, and if he gets an opening, he's going to pull trigger. And he'll hit side netting 3 or 4 times, but he'll also hit back at net 3 or 4 times as well. So yeah. The thing with him is he going to be like this for the next 3 or 4 games, or is he going to just sort of kind of disappear again a little bit? It's as a player and as a man, it's something that he needs to address, isn't it? His consistency, and if he does, he'll be a top level player. There's no doubt about it. He certainly won't be playing for us. And now's a great opportunity for him to do that. The level in this division, as we've talked about many times, is really, really poor. So it allows him that opportunity to shine, without really having to go too hard at it. So yeah, let's see how he pans out from here.
Yeah, absolutely. Top Cat says, think Power's getting mad a few times because he kept it too long. He does keep it too long. He absolutely does. But then sometimes he keeps it too long and just takes 3 players out of game. So you've got to take the rough with the smooth with something like Malik Wilkes. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right, second goal, Tom. 46 minutes is normally when we concede. It's normally a terrible time of the game for us. But a really good bit of play, a bit of positive play. It wasn't sexy or anything like it. It was just a positive bit of play. And Reece James has took it quite well.
Yeah, I can't believe you managed to put the word "sexy" into a Rotherham United sentence. Yeah, it was. I thought it was decent play. We broke quite well, and then it was. I thought Powell had ruined the chance by somehow managing to scuff the ball wide to James, and then it's such a good delivery back in. I mean, that's his best game he's ever had for us. There's been glimmers of it, but he consistently delivered yesterday, both off the ball, on it. I mean, Wilkes should have slipped him in. He should have got a goal, I thought. And yeah, again, dreadful defending from them. And I don't know whether to blame the goalkeeper because, it's in the corner, it's fair, but it's not hit with a lot of venom or power. But I'll give the keeper the benefit of the doubt because I thought he was a decent keeper that I think the sun must have got in his eyes because he looked like he just put his hand over it or it just went through him more or less. But look, I mean, you've got to take those chances, and the fact that both him and Rafferty, taking volleys at the edge of the box, I'm all for. I thought Rafferty's was a decent effort as well. I know it was quite wide in the end and he pulled it, but made good contact with it, and you never know if some of those fly in. And I think it just goes to show the confidence that we have at the minute. I mean, it's so good to see. Although I do think at times in the second half we kind of overplayed a little bit and played ourselves into trouble. But yeah, I think it just goes to show that high it came from a high intensity, bit of quality as well, and a little bit of fortune with the way that keeper didn't save it. But you don't, if you don't shoot, you don't score. So I mean, it was something ridiculous. Like I think we ended up with like 20 shots, like 8 on target or something ridiculous. So I mean, you've got to give them credit for shooting when they do. But yeah, I mean, a little bit fortunate with the deflection and going over the keeper's arm. But yeah.
Tom K. Humphries has been credited with the assist, apparently.
Right,
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, he was the one that closed it down on the edge of the box that got the ball out to James for me. I thought really good, and I thought I wasn't going to say anything about it because I thought I was the only one that maybe picked up on it, and so it didn't actually happen. So I'm glad Tom's mentioned it. It was really good closing down from Cam, and yeah, right at the edge of the box. They're trying to fanny about with it like they did, and no, not happening, mate. Straight to back at net. Assist to Cam Humphries, fully justified in my book. I'm just marking it down now.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Then we're going into half time 2-0 up. One of the most comfortable I felt. One of the most comfortable halves of the season. I just felt we were just dominant. We were the better team. We'll go on to Bolton in a bit, and they can be rubbish, but we were just in charge of the game. The effort was there. The press was there. We were creating chance after chance. We restricted them to basically nothing. Going into half time was one of the most comfortable I felt this season. It just felt a little easy.
Yeah, I mean, with the ball, that's the best we've been with the ball all year. And it's because of one person. And, I mean, it's Humphries. He was just so good in that. He's just so good in that position because he's always asking for it. And when he gets it, he got it yesterday in a little bit of trouble, 3 players around him, and then and I thought he was going to get tackled and we're going to go and score, but little quick touch and then knocked past and got a foul. And he's so good in that position, and he opens us up so much because we were still going long yesterday, and it was still a little bit annoying to go long. But when we went through Humphries, and it was the same with Lincoln for a couple of passages, when we went through Humphries, we nearly scored, and we're so much better with ball. Get it out to Powell, get it out to McDonald, who actually put a couple good crosses in, which is bizarre. But we were really good, getting into Humphries and getting into wide areas. And who knew for the past 2 years, if you put crosses into the box, it might do something.
Who'd have thought? Nick says he's always been calm and collected a player, though. Well, let Mick have his thing in a minute, Tom, but just talking about Cam Humphries because he's a revelation in centre midfield. I thought he dropped off against Huddersfield. He was still good, but just wasn't as good. And I thought yesterday, I said it in the instant reaction, that there's the bar lasses about him. No, he goes not that level, but there is that about him where he controls the game. He's comfortable on the ball. He's just one of those players that's just good to watch and important to your team, massively important to a team like this.
Yeah, he's so good to watch. And I'll say the same for him and a Dauphin as well, is that the money that we've got for Teehee now, I personally think should be invested back in them too. I think it should be a case of, we know that I don't think you get a better centre-half or a better League One player or a better centre mid in League One than them two for less than $1 million. So I'd put whatever money we got into Teehee back into them and make sure that they sign on again. And I think sign them on for 3 years. And then by the end of those 3 years, you'll probably earn your money back and double because you'll sell them for a profit anyway. I think it's absolutely ludicrous that those two are going to go for free in the summer because, look, it's tough to say that, he would perform this well in the Championship. But we've seen how good he is in the Championship at centre half. It's not a difficult thing to consider that maybe a few more games in there, a bit more coaching, he could turn out to be a pretty decent, championship set defensive midfielder. Not quite got the passing range that Barlaser ever did, but look, he does the simple stuff really well. He's a lot more physical in there. He covers the ground a lot better, I think. He's an excellent player, and in regards to League One, pushing championship players in that defensive midfielder position, you don't get much better than him, and you don't get much better than a Dauphin either. So I think maybe it's a little bit stupid to consider that they'd sign back for us, but whatever money we got from that Teehee deal, we should put into their wages and just give them what they want, because I think that even if they don't stay with us for however long they sign on for, they're gonna there's no other player that you can really go out and sign that's less than I don't know, 700k, 800k, and we're not going to dish that out. So you're going to be looking at freebies, and then you're making your squad worse for nothing because you're letting them go on a free. So that's what I'd be doing now. I'd be asking them what do they want and putting that TE money into signing them.
Yeah, I agree. John else saying they have to cost them 500k. Don't believe him. Imagine wages. 500k on cash, but how much wages is he on?
500k probably. That's just the wage.
Mick, you ate some humble pie on the instant reaction yesterday. If anyone didn't see it, praise Steve Evans some more for the Cam Humphrey situation.
Oh, have I got to? Have I got to really? Yeah, I did. I praised him, and I stand by that. I think he's done a fantastic job there. I'll temper it by saying he's covering up for or making up for the mistake he made by freezing Cam Humphreys out in the first place. We've covered that already, but he's brought him back into the fold, and he's put him into a position where he is absolutely excelling. 3 or 4 games, and he's already top level in that position. Give him 5 or 6 more games, give him half a season in that, and he will absolutely. He'll nail that. He will nail it because that's the kind of player he is. So absolute credit to Evans for doing that, for bringing him back and putting him into the team in that position, seeing that he's got the ability to play there, and he's absolutely paid him off in spades. It's a really, really good call by a manager, and I don't like saying that, but listen, credit where credit's due, He's done a really, really good job there, and he was outstanding yesterday. I mean, for me, he should have. He gets an assist for all 3 goals. The first one. The second. The 2 second goals, not the penalty, obviously.
And he should have another one.
Yeah, because he played the ball for the second goal, or for Numbe's goal. He played it out to Wilkes over the top. A lovely little pass, and then another lovely little pass out to the right wing for the last goal. So, yeah, he's calm, cool, collected. He's got time, and we talked about this yesterday. The thing that the key to Cameron Humphreys is that he reads the game so well. I've talked about this before, haven't I? With Dan Barlaser and other players in that midfield, going back to the sort of 90s, the early 2000s with Steve Thompson, not particularly very quick. Cam Humphreys is quick, by the way, but 3 or 4 yards faster than everybody else because of how they read the game, and that is Cam Humphreys' quality over and above his clear footballing talent. A hell of a player, and I've said it right from the very start, and I'm really, really pleased he's back in the team, and I'm thankful to Evans for putting him back in there. And hopefully he'll go from strength to strength. And I 100% agree with Tom. I'd do anything I possibly could to keep him on, and Hacks as well. Yeah,
I agree. Mystic John Parnell says Mick praising Evans. He is. He absolutely is.
Yeah, like I said, listen, credit where credit's due. He made a mistake with Cam Humphreys in doing what he did to him, but he's put that right. Again, in spades, he's absolutely put it right.
Yeah. Tom K, the pass for the 3rd goal was so good. No one seemed to notice that he'd put Wilkes through and goal at first. And the other one, which Wilkes missed, was even better. Where Wilkes was one-on-one goal, and that pass was coming from that was just so good. Yeah. So good.
Oh, and his right foot, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was better. I think that was a better ball, in my opinion. I think the ball for the 3rd one was he just picked out an area and waited. beautifully, but it was a lot of space to pick. I thought that chance that Wilkes missed was a better ball, in my honest opinion. But he's got a playmaking ability. I didn't think he had.
Yeah. Whenever you've got something like Cam Humphries in your team playing like that, the way you're aiming in the division will be at the top end of the table. That's where you should be aiming. When he's playing like that, when he's creating chances like that, he's one of those players that can elevate the rest of the team because of how he plays the game and how he reads the game and everything else. But he's got to keep doing it. It's 3 games, this, isn't it? You know what I mean? He could fall off a cliff. This is still quite early days in terms of this position. But let's hope he continues being fantastic. Right, Ben, the third goal, which comes from Cam Humphries. I think it probably puts Nombe as top scorer. I'll check while I'm asking you. But Wilkes has done really well. The shot itself is a really good shot, to be fair. So are that keepers can't hold on to it. Keeper's done the best he can, and Nombe's doing what a good striker does, and just following in the right area.
Yeah. I mean, you just talked about the pass. You just talked about the pass for the past 5 minutes. You rinsed everything that I was going to say and explained the goal, so I can't say anything. What do you want me to say? Yeah, we'll talk about the pass again. Nah, a brilliant pass. A counter, which we've not done all season.
Yeah. You found stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with that. It's a counter that we've not done all season, and Nombe being a striker, getting on end of it, which he not necessarily done all season. Good goal. I thought them two could have worked a little bit better. I thought Wilkes could have worked a little bit better with Nombe. There was a couple of times where Nombe had the ball, and Wilkes had just turned and made a run, and we've been on another counter. But he's asking for it for feet, and he's trying to back into, tallest bloke in England, strongest bloke in England. You know what I mean? Turn and make a run. Would have been with them two up top. We've got real potential for a counter because it's a lot of pace. And you were talking about with Cam Humphries playing well, you're going to be at top at end of division. How many times have we left? How many times have we after the game have we said, "God, they're crap"? Oh, 2 teams. This league is rubbish. This league is so bad. And if we keep playing like that, we could still get 91, mate. My prediction is still on. if we're gonna play teams like that, and they're what, 8th, 9th?
They were 4 or 5 points off playoffs, so not far off playoffs.
Wow. Like if they're the 9th best team in this league, we can do a lot more than what we're doing at the minute, and I don't see why we can't go on a little run, unbeaten run. I'm saying that right now.
I like the optimism. I like it.
Brilliant. Nombe coming for a little bit of stick, Ben. To be fair, he often comes in for a little bit of stick. But I'm going to ask you a different question to allow you to not complain about this one. It comes in a little bit of stick because his close control's not great, which I think is better than people say. People say his finishing's not great, which I think it's probably better than people give him credit for. How do you see Nombe as a player going forward for Rotherham United? Is he as good as? Is he as bad as people make out? Is he better? What do you think on Nombe?
If you get rid of Nombe, we've got nothing. When Nombe gets the ball, right, he has nowhere to go. For the rest of this season, when he got the ball, literally nowhere to go. What's he meant to do? We're lumping it up to him, right? So this is the first time in probably his professional career, or since he were probably 15, when he were probably bigger and taller than everyone, that we're lumping it up to him. It's the opposite of what he's good at. What do you expect him to grow 2 inches and get add 20 pounds? Like, there's not a lot he can do. We're long throwing it to him and stuff like that. He's a quick little striker who's getting on end of balls and putting crosses in, and we're lumping it up to him. So yeah, of course he's been playing bad. What do you expect him to do?
Yeah.
I think he's amazing. I think he's a really good player, and I think we'll play with a little bit of the way we'll play. We're still lumping it up to him and Wilkes a little bit, which was stupid. But with the way him and Wilkes played at times yesterday, on the counter and on the turn and in behind, that's how we're playing, and he'll get a lot more goals if he plays like that, because that's how we're meant to play.
Yeah, don't care.
And the press as well. Sorry, the press as well. He's perfect for the press.
Great for
Absolutely
the press.
perfect for the press.
Yeah, he is.
The thing is, he's one of those that is a classic Rotherham United player. The problem is, and we said this when we signed him for £1 million, that builds pressure and people go, well, he's not £1 million player. And I think if we signed him for 300k or on a free, people are going saying what a signing he is. But because that pressure's there, people are always saying, well, he's not £1 million player, which is, I think, is probably fair. But I don't make him a bad player, does it?
He is worse players. There's money. He is.
What?
Go on, mate.
In today's money, he is £1 million player.
Yeah, I said that. I said there's a lot worse gone for £1 million.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to dig him out, but that Joel Randall's gone for 1.5 million, and I hardly noticed him. So
yeah.
And I'm not saying he's a bad player. Yeah, exactly.
Jordan Rose went for 10.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I think it's because it's our first £1 million as well, isn't it? We're not. If we spent money, then it'd be nothing. But it is. Tom Numby has barely made a shot for the last 4 or 5 home games, but he actually had service against Bolton. Yeah, he absolutely did. And you saw the difference. Phil says, "How come when we lose we're garbage, but when we win, with the opposition are poor?" Well, what I would say, Mick, is I think both of those things can be true. We can be very, very good because we were fantastic yesterday. Bolton, all right, were very, very poor as well, weren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, we could have won by more. Arguably, should have won by more. Had we taken our chances, but for me, there's two separate parts to that. Really, we were excellent. We played really, really well. We pressed well. We kept the ball well. Whether or not, and we did that irrelevant of how poor Bolton were, because we had a game plan. We knew what they were going to do, and we snuffed it out, and we took the game to them. So we were excellent, not because they were poor, but we were just excellent. They were woeful. They were dreadful, and it's so funny. And it's not funny for the fans. Genuinely, the Bolton fans were fantastic yesterday. Absolutely, second only to Birmingham, really, in my view, this season. They were absolutely excellent, and I feel for them because we've been there all season. We've been where they are now all season, or for a lot of this season and last. So I do feel for the fans. But as far as the club are concerned, it's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious, and you know they were dreadful. Comfortably the worst team I've seen all season, with the exception of us. Well, it is, isn't it? You know, with the exception of some of the games that we've played, because we have been worse than that in some games. Excuse me, in some games this season, but they were awful. They were embarrassing.
Yeah. We're going to talk about Bolton a little bit. Anybody that thinks we're saying we're putting down Rotherham United's performance because of Bolton, that couldn't be further from the truth. We were excellent, but it's funny to laugh at Ian Evatts fail. So you've got to balance these things in terms of podcasts. But yeah, Cheryl says apparently their players look mentally fragile. I should think they do. There was a moment in the second half where they did a corner in what looked like a rehearsed routine where it was kind of a low ball into the front post and they got it slightly wrong. And instantly Ian Evatts would enter his box shouting and screaming at his own players. Now, if Evans did that, if Steve Evans does that, Tom, we're as us. We're giving him some serious stick for that. I thought that would bang out our order. From a guy, and from what he said in his post-match about players need to take responsibility, I would be absolutely raging if I were a Bolton fan.
Yeah, no, completely. And I look, honestly, I think that they were like us. They just played without any confidence. And I don't think I disagree with you, mate. I don't think they're the worst team that we've played this season because quality-wise, I think you can see that they are better. They're not as good as, playoffs, but they are better than some of the oppositions, the teams that we played. But they played with no confidence. We played them at a really good time where their confidence is rock bottom. Evatts doesn't know what he's doing, and he's calling out the players. I mean, if that would have happened with Evans, we saw what happened. The players don't play for him, and the players don't try. They don't this, that, and the other. And we made them look bad. Our style of play against their style of play. Evans, full credit to him. A bit more praise. He got it spot on with his pressing. He wanted high intensity because it means that they can't play. So that's exactly what we did. And honestly, they can't play anyway. That their third, their players aren't good enough to play the way that Evatt wants to play, or the Evatt way, or whatever it is. Playing out from the back, they're not good enough. So, but having said that, once they got into the final third, I thought they looked pretty. I wouldn't say dangerous, but more dangerous than we've seen this season. I mean, I don't know what. I think it was 2-0 when Dion Charles missed that absolute sitter. And if that's 2-1, then it's a completely different game, and it should have been 2-1. And then then we go up the other end and score, and then concede a scruffy goal. But yeah, I mean, if that was a 3-1 against, I feel better that was a 3-1 against Bolton, and more optimistic about the performance than if that was a 3-1 against Cambridge or a 3-1 against Burton. Yeah. That's the sort of way that I see it. Although they were really bad, and it's quite funny to laugh at Evatt, I still think they were quality-wise better than some of the teams that a few of the teams that we've played this season. I won't over-egg them, but I won't, undermine them either. And we made them look bad. We made them look really bad. They couldn't string five-yard passes together, and it's down to confidence as well. And that's a sign of a bad manager, and a manager that's clearly on his way out, in my opinion. Yeah.
And I think that's what key in the first half. Then when we got aggressive on them, there was that spell of play where McDonald threw himself into a challenge and Rafferty threw himself into a challenge. When you've got teams like that, and we've experienced it this season as well, when you've got teams like that, it's important to put them down further. And I think that spell of play just probably knocked quite a lot of stuff out of them, because they weren't here for the fight. So if you put up a little bit of fight, they just fell down.
Yeah,
they were like that the last time we were in League One, and that's why we were so good, because we pressed so high. We were pressed so aggressively. That's another place, because they can't play. No one in this league or the one above it can play that way. Unless you've got Xavi and Busquets in your team, you can't play that way. It takes a serious level of skill to play that way every time. Because if you give the ball away, you're in some serious trouble. Yeah. And then you're 1-0 down, and now you're against it, because now they've put 15 men behind ball, and you've got to break them down, and you don't know how to do that. You know what I mean? So, what a question.
I was trying to praise them for being aggressive.
Yeah. Well, I pointed out to you as well when we scored. McAtee and 19 were having proper go at their left back. Or Sean, I think it was. Sean, the German word, Schön. He were having a right go at him. Angry. I thought they were going to go. I thought it was with them two Newcastle players. I thought they were going to, you know what I mean? I thought they were going to go over and have a go, because it looked really badly. I didn't see anything. I didn't really.
Goal came on the side, didn't it? Goal came up right side, left back. We're getting a right booking.
I mean, what do you expect? Well, to be fair, they did get beat 3-1 and their best team in the league, so they can expect their confidence to be rattled a little bit. But what do you expect when you've got someone like that in charge? I mean, what he said to players, I said to you, if you're a captain, that's fisticuffs worthy, because that's embarrassing. That is really bad. Because you're saying it's not my fault. Yeah. It's not my fault the way I put you out to play. The way I put you out to play is perfect. It's your fault.
I agree.
Oh, that's table flipping worthy, that. That's bad.
Yeah. It's just nice seeing something like that get the comeuppance in it. It's just nice. But yeah, I felt like when it was all unfolding and what you watched Bolton fans, it felt like the Barnsley game for us. I kind of saw myself in that stand in the Barnsley game, where you just angry and frustrated. I mean, that was a local derby, it's slightly different. But yeah, it was. They deserve better than that. Every football fan deserves better than that. But anyway, Harry says, anybody surprised after a performance like that we didn't get the fist pumps? I was surprised, especially after going at Lincoln as well. But he seems to go straight down the tunnel, and I like that. He goes away and lets the players have their moment. I thought the players came around and did the lap. I thought, especially at home, I think that's better from Evans. But anyway, that's by the by. Fourth goal of the game, Mick, but their first goal. The second referee of the game missed a blatant handball in the middle of the pitch. We've talked about rest at goal, and we should have defended better, whatever else. But it's a blatant handball in the middle of the pitch that the referee's missed.
Yeah, it is, and yeah, had it been made it 1-1, I might have been a little bit more annoyed about it. But you've got to give the referee cut in some slack. He's never refereed a professional game before, You know, he was fourth official. He's a non-league referee. He's jumped into the game halfway through. Yeah, he missed it, or he didn't give it, whichever. You know, and there has been some handballs given earlier in the game, either by him or the other ref. I don't know which referee gave them for less than that. But yeah, you know, it's frustrating. But you got to defend better. The handball was in the centre circle, so it's not like it were on the edge of the box and they've controlled it and shot. You know, so we've got to defend better, and that is just a bit slack, really, taking our foot off the gas. But as it turned out, it didn't really matter. So I'm not going to call referee out for that. Evans got himself a booking. I understand why in the heat of the moment, in the heat of the game, and I think us as fans were probably reacted in the same way. But you know, in the cold light of day, you've got to look at the context of it, haven't you?
To be fair to Evans, in his post-match, he said he deserved the yellow card because he felt like he went over the top with his protests.
Yeah, he did.
I know.
Yeah.
I've not seen that. I was still reeling from Evatt's post-match, so still laughing from that. So yeah.
Right, I want to touch on this, but I didn't see it, so it's not much. I don't know what we're going to be able to talk about this. But Mick Carrott says it was a bit late. But then we see Hugo argue with some fans in the stand. Johnson Clark, Harry said to carry him away. It certainly looked that way. So I didn't see this. I was watching the five-a-side game there, but apparently there was some fans in the stand were giving Jordan Hugo some stick. I don't know what for because he's not played for several weeks. And as you'd expect, Jordan Hugo kind of took offence to that. It's just not necessary when the player's not even on pitch. I don't, you know, if somebody's on pitch, you know, when it went other week, Tom, when Hugo was on the pitch and he was offside and he got a bit of criticism for that because it was lazy. I get that. He's made a mistake. He's doing a really poor bit of play. Boo him or whatever. Don't like booing him, but criticise him. He's on bench warming up. Why is somebody getting involved in criticise the play, especially when you're 2-0 up and all? You should be a positive vibe. Why are you having a go at a player like that? I don't get it. Yeah,
well, likewise, I've not seen it. I don't know anything about it other than supposedly what happened. But yeah, I mean, it's fair play to Hugo for standing up to him for himself, I guess. And some people said it happened to Bramwell as well, which I thought Bramwell's done it. You know, he still lacks that technical ability for me, but he still does a job when he comes on. I mean, he's not the worst player I've ever seen play for Rotherham, or in this, you know, in this last couple of years. So I think, yeah, it's completely unfair and it's completely justified. Whatever Hugo defending himself, you know. I mean, we don't know what was said other than he was abused, but you know, it depends how severe the abusing is. But yeah, I mean, I'd have, you know, I think those two fans, supposedly two fans, should look at themselves in shame because it's pathetic, especially when you're 2-0 up. I mean, there's no point to even try and begin to explain why you'd be so upset at half time when you're winning 2-0 at a player who hasn't played for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. You know, we all have pent up frustration about Hugo, and that's fine. But just because we know he can be better than he is, but it don't give you a right to berate him. You know, he's still a human being who probably knows he's not performed to the levels that he's actually, you know, playing at. So yeah. Yeah, but again, I didn't see it, so I've got no clue what happened.
Nick Harris says he disagrees. Think Hugo needs to be a bit more intelligent. Professional, high-earning players should know better than age with Muppets. Reg says, not surprised, it's a waste of space. He's no interest at all about the football club and is more bothered about picking up his huge wage. Yes, that's all fine. But then at the same time, you've got to bear in mind the human being in there, Ben. It's not his fault he's on a load of money at this football club. He did, you know, he was offered the wage on a ridiculous length of the contract. He's not even on the pitch. He's not even playing, and it's a shame that somebody feels the need to do that. I mean, it's not. I'm just disappointed with that, to be honest.
Yeah, the people doing it shouldn't have done it. No one should do it, especially when he's not even playing. But it's not like he's, you know, it's not like he's had his chance not to have any stick. You know what I mean? It's not like. he's had more than enough opportunity to prove himself as a player and to not deserve that. But he's sitting on one of the highest wages on club. He don't give effort when he's there. Probably don't train. That's an assumption. He probably half trains. Okay. He's there. He's sat. Well, half time. And this is one really thing that annoys me sometimes. He's just half joking at half time, laughing and joking, half kicking ball, trying some stupid pass. I do not feel the need to better yourself and get play somewhere. Like the pride in you. And another thing as well is like, we're all humans and we can all just ignore it. Unless it actually hits a nerve. And he said something that's in the back of your mind because you're actually thinking it. So if he said, yeah, you're crap and you need to go out and you're on a high wage and you're not good enough, it's obviously hits a nerve somewhere back there for him to engage and get annoyed. So I think he needs to probably take a look at himself and try and get better somewhere, because it's one thing that annoys me in sports. People just picking up a wage and like, it's just scummy, in my opinion. It is. It is. Because there's so many people that would do better for this club on a much less wage. And you're sat there dossing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong, no, but it doesn't give the right to be abused.
No, I'm not saying that, but you can't change the people in this world. So you know that potential is coming. So why don't you just play well or give effort? And that you can give yourself a better chance of that not happening.
Fair enough. There's one perspective. Mick, anything?
I mean, I've got a lot of sympathy for what Ben just said there.
Yeah.
I do agree with him. People need to grow up, don't they? We don't. When it comes down to personal abuse, face to face, from the stands, effing and jeffing at people or whatever it is, there's no need. There's no need, I guess. But on the flip side of that, in the heat of it, this is at half time, so this probably what I'm about to say now probably doesn't really apply. But in the heat of a game, and something goes wrong, and you come out with all sorts of crap, don't you? And Evans is a perfect example of that. His reaction in game, he's one of a mad supporter, isn't it? He's like a mad fan the way he goes off. We've all gone off that way, but as a manager, you tend not to. But fans do, and most players are aware of that. But like Ben said, if what's been said's hit a nerve, perhaps, maybe that's why he's reacted. You don't know. But at half time, just leave it alone. Go and get a pie, a coffee, a beer, or whatever, and chill. Get ready. Get your anger pent up for the second half.
Yes. There. Right, let's do a couple other bits. We'll come back to the game in a minute, but let's do Chris T. He has officially left. We don't know how much, but Evans claims it to be a profit on what we sold him for. This all happened after we finished last episode. There was no rumour about it before we finished recording last time. But it got announced late Friday night by the Hungarian team, or I forgot what they're called, but they're third in the Hungarian First Division. Tom, it is what it is. He wants to be close. He wants to live somewhere his family can live with him, which means he has to be in the European Union, which Hungary is. So it makes sense from all that point of view. It's a shame it didn't work out for him. But again, we go back to the Hugo thing. You've got to consider the person that's in there and his family that's in there. So it makes sense, sadly.
Yeah. No, it makes sense for all parties, them, us, and him, because we get a profit, which is fine. This is, football isn't about making friends; it's about making money. To some extent, as a business, that's fine on our behalf. He said himself he didn't want to be here. To Evans, and I think at some points he played like it, and I sort of get it. If your young child and your wife, girlfriend, whatever, can't enter the country and you have to fly constantly to see them, like, it's not a nice thing. And your head would be elsewhere. You won't be able to train as efficiently, etc. And they get a player for a fee that they're probably happy with. So yeah, I think we've got a more than decent replacement in Cam Humphreys there. I think Cam Humphreys does everything that Teehee did, but better. I think he's more physical. He covers the ground better. I'd say they're similar on the ball, but I think Humphreys is more positive with it. I I don't think Teehee was a bad player. I think he gets a lot of unwanted hate. I think he did a job when he was in there that is overlooked, and he covered the ground well. He always asked for the ball. He was always available for the ball. He didn't, get many goals or assists, but he was solid enough. And that proved by him probably being one of our better players in the Championship last season. Not saying that that's a compliment by any means, but he was definitely one of the performers which could, at the end of the season, you sort of think, yeah, he's a decent player, along with Klukas, in my opinion. So yeah, I think it's probably fair for all parties, and he's not a player I'm sad to see go, because it just makes sense.
Yeah, makes us how much we pay for him. We paid apparently 500,000 for him in the first place. So all we know is profit. Having said that, the club we've sold him to, their club record signing was 150,000 euros before Chris T.
I can't imagine it's.
So
I don't know.
Yeah, 500,001p.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be. It'll be in installments or something, won't it? It will be 100k for the next 10 years or something.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, look, they might be in Europe next year, so this might be a club that's on the up that we do. I don't know. I'm not up to date with the Hungarian First Division, so I don't know what the history is. So sorry. Back to the game though, Ben. I think a player that deserves praise that we haven't mentioned is Joe Powell. He's somebody who again I think has blossomed in this new formation, because it allows him to be off centre. I think before this change, it was always centre B, always in the centre. This way, he's able to drift into that left-hand position. And some of them crosses he put in yesterday were fantastic. We're finally getting the best out of this player. Yeah,
they were amazing. And Williams should have had one. He should have buried that chance.
Yeah, he should have. Yeah.
That header just missed it, I guess. But yeah, he's got a great left foot, and it's perfect for him, like you said. And if James can just get a little bit more forward, like he was yesterday, it just opens him up so much, because he's not a left winger, Joe Powell. So he's not going to be able to take on guys with his pace every single time. And if him and James could get a little thing going, get them balls in, they were amazing, and get a couple of shots going sometimes as well. And I thought his dribbling was a little bit pretty good yesterday. Near us, right where we say, he did some really good quick feet past a couple of players a couple of times. And he looked like he's got really good potential to play at this league. It's all clicking in different areas, bit by bit. And hopefully, come February, March time, push on, get a little bit of a run going. And, mate, that's when you want to be playing good football. March, April, May. Yeah. You don't be playing good football in September, October. You want to be playing good football in March, April, May. So if we can get it clicking for there, like I said to you, we're in dire need of another forward. Because Wilkes and Nombe can't play 90 minutes every game in this league. 46 games in a season, that's a long season.
And they've both played a lot of minutes as well.
And it's not 52 weeks. The season's not 52 weeks. It's, I don't know how many weeks. It's 30 somewhere, I would imagine. But it's very compact. And especially if we go far in this competition, this Vertu competition, which everyone wants to. I wouldn't mind number one to Trophy Cabinet. So it's another how many games? That would be 10 games probably. So we need Dane even forward, but it's all clicking bit by bit.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I completely agree. Paul Rhodes think the calendar has improved Powell's performance. Yeah, I think he's probably heard about the calendar, Mick, and stepped it up a little bit, hasn't he?
Yeah, but somewhere over there, look.
Yeah. Well, kiss it for good luck.
Nick said we have a real opportunity to pick up some points this month. Charlton is another test, absolutely is. Reg says argue that Odoff and Jules are the best centre-half partnership in the league, both so confident, strong at the back.
Easily.
Yeah, we could talk about other ones. We haven't even mentioned Sean McWilliams, which we should, but I haven't really got time. Well, Mick, do you want to have a quick Sean McWilliams praise? Because if we'd have this conversation literally a month ago, I think we did. Sean McWilliams will leave in January because he's not playing enough minutes, and whenever we've seen him, I remember saying loads. I don't know what he is. I don't know what he does. I get it now. I get it absolutely now.
Yeah, I wonder why he's not been playing. There's been some changes from that Lincoln game. Sure, changes made for that Lincoln game, which have changed the way completely the team's played for the better. And McWilliams is one of those players. He's got some pace. He's got some bite. He gets into dangerous positions. He's doing all right. He's a good, solid League One player, without a doubt. I'm still not entirely sure exactly where he plays, other than within that midfield area. But he's causing problems, as is McDonald, as Kim A was just put in the comments there. McDonald's causing problems as well. He needs to work on his positioning because he's getting dragged inside far too much. And I mentioned this on the post match yesterday. What it's doing is it's causing us to have no width at all, particularly on the right hand side. So, but that's part and parcel of learning the style of football that we're playing and the setup that we're playing. So I've been impressed with him. Really impressed with McWilliams. There's definitely a player in there. So yeah, good call.
Tom Casey, McWilliams is one of the bravest players I've seen in a while. Not scared to fly and tackle all sorts of tackles. I think that's what we've been missing. Him and McDonald are aggressive. And we've had nobody. We've been shirking tackles up until Stockport game. So the fact he's been able to get these players in it shouldn't have taken as long as it did, but we're there now, and hopefully this is. We're going to. Is there anything else anyone wants to mention from that game before we have a quick Vertu Trophy talk?
Has Ian Evatts still got a job? By the way, I don't know.
He is still employed.
Really?
Yeah. It's funny, you have shares in a company, you keep a job. It's just that things work, you go to the standard.
What are we talking about?
Right, moving on to the Vertu Trophy. It is local derby, Chesterfield on Tuesday night. It's a 7:00 kickoff, remember, because that's what happens with the Vertu Trophy. Tom, where does this kind of rank? We're in the last 16, I think, now. So what with the 3 games from Wembley? We haven't got a big enough squad to change it too much, to be honest with you.
No.
Would you bring in Johnson, Clark Harris, and Jordan Hugel, or would you? That's a big change, isn't it? That's a complete change of style if you bring them in.
Yeah, no, I'm genuinely worried more for Tuesday than I am for Saturday, because I think it's such a tough ask to ask that same 11 to play again with the same intensity on Tuesday. Albeit it should be an easier game. I say quote unquote because of league positions and whatnot. I don't think it will be. I think it'll be hopefully a good game. But you're right. I mean, we can't change it for the life of us. We've got no centre halves to bring in because Raggett's not fit. We've got no left back or right back cover unless you want to put Bramall in there. Obviously, goalkeeper we're fine, but Holmes and Green you maybe bring in for Powell and McDonald, I guess. Kelly could be brought in, but it's tough to, like you say, you bring in Clark Harris and Hugill, but that changes the dynamic of the team completely, and it's not the same style of football or the same tactics or whatever you want to call it that we would have. But we wouldn't be on the front foot. We wouldn't be aggressive. We wouldn't be pressing high because they can't do it. Kelly, Clark Harris, Hugo, their legs are gone. They wouldn't be able to. We don't have the depth. We have sold 5 players. We've sold however many, and we're 5 players less with a coyote in, and that's not for me good. I want to say good enough, but it's not where we should be at this moment in time. I think we need bodies in the door, and if it's up to me, I'd bring in 5 players on loan as soon as you could. It'd be easier to negotiate, wages on that structure. Honestly, I'd be tempted to bring Hatton in, and I always get his name wrong. The John, what was he called? The John Stones. What was he called?
Harrison Duncan.
Yeah. I'd be tempted to bring them 2 into the fold and even start them. I mean, Duncan for me probably has to start because you can't play Jules and Odoffin for another 90 so minutes. So, and you've got nowhere else to turn to other than Hull. So, I mean, hopefully we get a signing through the door tomorrow that's available to play on Tuesday, because I think that's a perfect introduction for them. But for me, Nick said it in the comments. You don't want to risk any injuries now, because with the team playing so well as it is, you want to keep them 11 fit for the next league game and the next league game and the next league game. This cup, although Ben, you said it before, it'd be great to win. We don't have the squad depth to do well in it without, negating some of the league form. So it's tough. Oh my God! Sorry, I've just read that comment that Harrison Duncan has 9 goals and 5 assists in 12 games. That from centre back, from centre half. That can't be. That can't be. Is he playing against children?
Well, he is. Yeah.
He's a child. What? That's absurd.
Yeah, it's quite impressive.
My
But
God.
if he's tearing it up, let him tear it up. He's so young. Just let him tear it up for a year. And then go from there. But we'll
for me, he's got to play because there's no other centre halves, and I wouldn't risk Jules and a Dauphin because personally they're the best 2 centre half partnerships in the league.
The only one we've got.
Well, yeah, that as well.
Alex Minoldi is available for the first time in this competition since that Mansfield game. His ban's finally over.
Yeah.
But then he might not even play because he's playing in league. So I have to wait and see how that goes. People mentioned him, mentioned Jack Holmes and Andre Green. From an attacking perspective, they're certainly you could play Holmes, Green, and then Clark Harris. But that would mean a change in formation. That's the problem. It means you're reverting back a little bit. And even though these are bit part players, I still like to see the same formation.
Yeah, you still want the same formation. I want to win this thing, man. I don't really want to go up. I don't really want to go up. We're not ready to go up as a club. I really don't want to go up because I don't think it'll be pretty again. You know what I mean? Take a year. I'm not saying if we've got the potential to go up, but this trophy's that's in your history forever. You know what I mean? You don't get the option to win silverware. Many players at this level don't win silverware in their career. They've got the whole career without winning silverware at this level. So get a medal, get a trip to Wembley. You know what I mean? I wouldn't put the team out that we played 2 days ago, but I definitely wouldn't put under 14s out. You know what I mean? I'd still try and win it, and I won't blow it away because, especially as a manager, that's another trophy on your thing. I think it's just a win-win. These cup competitions, try and get you furthest you can in it. So
Evans is Evans as well.
I would like to see. You have to change formation realistically because you're gonna have to play Green, Holmes, Hugo, and Clark Harris. So you're gonna have to change formation.
Yeah.
A good thing I'm not manager in it because I won't have a clue what to do.
Yeah. Good job. We'll see a change of keeper. I'm sure we'll see a change of goalkeeper. Cam Dawson will get his chance again. Other than that, Mick, it's just we don't know. Hope that we win. Do you hope that we win?
Yeah, bragging rights in it over Chesterfield. We don't want them getting any. We need them to stay in the lane, don't we? Get down there.
Yeah, and bear in mind where the season's going, which we all think it's going to end up being mid-table nothingness.
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
you want a cup run in those seasons, don't you?
Yeah, you absolutely. I'm with Ben in the sense that listen, that those days out at Wembley are amazing. They are amazing. So particularly when you win, obviously.
Yeah, that helps.
It's one of them as well. You go to Wembley, and if you lose this, it's like, you know what I mean?
Long way back in it.
Yeah, it's not like playoffs. It's not like losing playoffs.
It's only stupid.
Yeah, but if you win, especially the way we won last time, it's just amazing.
Yeah, if you win it, it's amazing.
Especially if you equalise it last minute, it's just amazing.
Problem is, I couldn't speak for 4 days afterwards, Ben. That was the problem.
Yeah, that's true.
If we do it again, let's not do it the same way. It's no good for everybody's voice. We'll not do a prediction league. We'll update the prediction league for the next episode because there's been a lot of people picked up some points. But we will do predictions now, but it doesn't count towards the league, Mick. So predictions for Tuesday night. It goes straight to penalties. We don't mess around with extra time like the FA Cup does. Straight to penalties if it's a draw.
I think we'll win 2-1.
Fair enough. Very positive. Like it. Tom?
I'm going to say 2-0. I think the clean sheet streak will continue.
Well, that'd be 4 in a row, wouldn't it?
No, because we didn't get a clean sheet against Bolton.
Oh, balls. So the streak won't continue.
Yeah.
Well, no, but better streak.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Ben?
3-0. I'm going to just copy Kev from now on. 3-0.
Well, you're both towards bottom of the league, so
he's above me though, so I've got to drag him down with me. I can't let him get ahead.
Steve Grundy says 2-2. Paul Rose 1-1. Rich says 2-2 win on pens. Scott Kent says Chris says 1-1 win on pens. Scott Kent says 3-1. Grig for them. Darren Cook says 2-0. Top Killer says win on pens. Ben, do you want to reply to this? Matt Miller says just don't get it. Fans don't want promotion because of fear of the future. If you're promotion, you take it.
Yeah,
Right reply.
I said that. I said if we've got I'm not going to lose the playoffs on purpose. I don't think it'd be good for the club. I really don't. Well, it will be, yeah, but we'll have a year in Championship and we'll come back down, and now we're back to where we are. You know what I mean? Especially if we're playing right now, I think we might get less points than we got last year. It's not good. You know what I mean? Take a year, build it up, because the fans still aren't. You saw a comment about the atmosphere. That takes time. That takes time playing like that to get an atmosphere. And you need an atmosphere in Championship, because if we're going to rely on quality in Championship, wow, we need saving. You know what I mean? So I don't think it'd be in the best interest for the club.
Can I just say atmosphere? I don't think the atmosphere was that bad.
No, I don't think so. But remember how it were under Warren when we were pressing and it got
it's nowhere near where it was, but it weren't that. The atmosphere was fine.
I did, but it can be better. But we need it better than that in Championship when we're pressing to get behind the team and go against better teams. I don't think it would be the best. Do you to go up?
If we did go up, we would not end up with 25 points, whatever it was again. No in a million years under Evans would we get so few points. I think we would probably go down.
Last time it happened.
We didn't under Evans.
No,
we stayed up.
I know, yeah. But we said that last time we got that amount of points, we'd never get that low point.
Yeah, we did. That. Yeah, that's fair. We're not ready. The club's not ready. The transfers that is brought in are not Championship players. That causes other problems. Having said that, if we go up, we won't go down on record points. We'll put up a fight and we'll probably go down. But there'll be some good moments. If we went up under Evans, there'll be some great moments in the Championship. The derbies will be good, but the teams will be up for him because he'd have a year. The players he would have, he would trust them now. He'd have another year to be able to trust them a little bit better. So I think we'd be better off from where we were. But
have I slipped into a different dimension here? Or are we talking about whether or not we want to go up? We're 13th, 14th, 11 points off playoffs. What? Hello?
We've got to talk. Look, we're on a great run.
Anybody there?
Great's not the right word.
No.
We're on a decent run.
Yeah, whatever.
Nick, finally, thoughts on Evans' transfer talk saying he wants value for money? I think that's just classic lowering expectations that we always get.
Well, we all want value for money.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So, and out of everybody, Tony Stewart will be the one that wants the most value for money, the most value for the least money. So, yeah, whatever. Just bring some players in if you can, please.
Not if you can. We need them. We've got no bodies.
Let's wait and see. Yeah,
get your boots out at garage, mate.
Yeah, don't know how that's going to work, mate. My age.
Yeah, okay. That's Evans saying not to expect anything spectacular. Yeah, absolutely is. Absolutely is. We're only 10 points off playoffs, by the way, Mick.
Oh, sorry, my apologies. How could I get that so wrong?
And to be fair, with our run of fixtures, we've got Burton away, Cambridge at home, and Shrewsbury at home in the next 5 games.
Yeah. Right, okay.
And Charlton next week, although they're in a decent run form. Anything else? We've got an hour and 20 here. This has been a very long episode. It happens when you win. Good stuff to talk about. We're not used to this. This is new to us. Anything else we need to mention?
No. If anybody's got any more videos from Millmoor that might trigger some piggies, then just you can DM me. I'll put them back out. I've not got a lot to do this week. I quite fancy having a bit of sport.
Fair enough. If you haven't done so already, check out the instant reaction, which was me and Mick straight after the game. Thank you to Ben for filming both that and the Millmoor section as well. They're separate episodes, so do go over and check those out. That'll kill 20 minutes. Not even 20 minutes of your life, to be honest with you. So do check those out as well. We will be back on Thursday. We'll be back on Thursday with the review of the Chesterfield game, which is, I remember, around a 7 o'clock kickoff. If you're going or not, remember it's 7 o'clock kickoff. We'll review that one and then we'll look ahead to Charlton, which I expect to be a tough game, but we'll cover that. I fully expect a scouting report to be available for that one as well. We got Charlton Live, I think, who we did last time, so we'll get those guys on again because they are good guys who can give us a rundown on Nathan Jones's Charlton Athletic. Make sure you have subscribed if you haven't done so already on YouTube, and also give this video a thumbs up as well if you're watching on YouTube. If you are watching on X, which I can see a couple hundred people are watching on X tonight, make sure you have followed us on there. And give it a repost. Give what you're watching, give it a repost as well to share the great word of Rotherham United, even if there is some anti-Evans bias going on in relation to a penalty decision. But yeah, if you're listening on iTunes and Spotify, make sure you have subscribed, give us a 5-star rating and a comment, or just follow it, whatever it allows you to, depending on where you are listening. Thank you, Mick. It's been something.
Yeah, it's been.
It's been. What a great way of putting it. Tom, thank you very much, mate. It's been fun again.
Yeah. What a win does to a weekend, eh?
Exactly. Absolutely. And Ben, thank you very much for fighting through your illness recovery. I appreciate your effort.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you all next time. Thank you all for watching. And as always, up the Millers.
Up the Millers.
The Millers.
I think I always made the comment that once a Miller, always a Miller.
Ravel, ambitious, but brilliant! I don't believe it! I swear I do not believe it! Good Evans, he's done it again. Another promotion for the big man.
I've got 12 bottles of champagne in my office, and we're going to drink them all night.
Do me a favor, drop me off in